Here I am at Hiroshima, the site of the first nuclear bomb that was dropped. And as you can see by the building still standing, which was a direct result of what happened. Hi folks, August 6th, 66 years ago, at 8:15 in the morning, was the date and the time which the United States dropped an atomic bomb, a nuclear weapon, over the city of Hiroshima, Japan, towards the waning days of World War II. Now, my 16 uncles, my father fought in World War II. My father was in the United States Marine Corps in the South Pacific. All the adult males in the neighborhood I grew up in Brooklyn also served in that war. My frame of reference in regards to dropping of that bomb takes place from being born 4 years after the end of the war and being raised amongst people who actually participated in that war. This past May, I was in Japan. One morning we were in Osaka. We take the bullet train to Hiroshima. From the bullet train station to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, the place where the bomb exploded above, we had to take a trolley. We get to the trolley station at the park. We get off the trolley, and I noticed the sign at the trolley station read in big, bold English letters, "Atomic Bomb Dome." Well, I found that rather illustrative and a little perplexing. Well, the reason why it's in English was because English is a universal second language, and that's a tourist place. So I take my camera out to take a picture of it. But standing by this trolley car sign, stop sign, were a bunch of Japanese students. Well, they see me take my camera out, and they did this.
Italian.
That's understandable, because they behave like students would anywhere else in the world. Horsing around, having a good time. And I illustrate that to you to show you that, yes, Japanese students are like students anywhere else in the world. They push, they shove, they joke, they run, they giggle. No problem. Once we walked inside the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park, none of that existed. No, it's not because there were no students there, believe me. There were hundreds upon hundreds of students in that park, coming by trolley, coming by train, coming by one chartered bus after another. You see, folks? In the United States, when you take children into a cathedral, they have reverence for the place. So the behavior that's typical of a child is outside the door there. Whereas inside, there's that reverence. Well, that's what happened here at the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park. It's an open-air cathedral to the Japanese students. They have the same reverence we would have in a cathedral as they have there at that memorial park. But you know, folks, here in the United States, the atomic bomb dropping happened in the distant past. Yeah, we study about it, we discuss it, but it's the past. In Japan, it's a current event. And it's not a current event to point fingers or as an instrument of hate, but a current event to be studied and to hopefully prevent it from happening in the future. That's why they call it the Peace Memorial Park. They have a museum there, and in this museum there are artifacts from Hiroshima, what they look like or what happened the day of the bomb. There was no hate there pointing fingers at the allies of the United States. The whole thing was dedicated to peace. But there was one object there that really hit me in the face that illustrated Japanese society and culture. It was a huge photograph, and I have no idea why I didn't take a photograph of it, because it has such an impact upon me. It was a Japanese teacher in a jacket and tie, well dressed. He's outside, and on the ground in front of him are Japanese students. He's conducting class. That was taken after the bomb was dropped. No, not a month later. Not a week later. August 7th, the day after the bomb was dropped. You see, the Japanese people in Hiroshima did not feel sorry for themselves, did not look to point fingers. They dust themselves off and look to rebuild their city, contribute to the future of their children and to their nation. And that is part of their culture even till today. That was so illustrated and has such an impact to see that photograph. So now I go outside among the hundreds and hundreds of students, all neatly dressed in their uniforms. I didn't see anybody exposing their underwear, as we're accustomed to seeing here in this country. I did not see anybody with baggy pants or looking like a slob. Neat, classy looking. So now, in the center of this park, there's something that's called a cenotaph, which is a saddle-shaped cement edifice. And inside of it is a sarcophagus housing the name of about 220,000 people who perished as a result of that bomb. And people go in front of there and lay wreaths and flowers. And the students do the same thing, but they do it orderly, as well as they bow in reverence towards this sarcophagus for the people who have perished as a result. Folks, it is rather moving to see the behavior of the people in this park. It is rather moving to see how the Japanese turned this horrific event not to an instrument of hate, but for an instrument of peace, and to see the reverence by the students. Folks, I need to tell you this. Never in the history of human civilization has such an event been thrown upon a people as those two atomic bombs. Now, never mind what caused it, whether it was justified or not. It never happened before, and it's horrific, okay? I bring that up to show you that yet the relationship between our two countries today, 66 years later, cannot be any stronger other than if we were one nation. And the reason why I bring that up, folks, there are people in other countries who till today still point at Japan and hate them for the activity that took place in the first half of the last century. Whereas we in the United States and them in Japan towards the United States and us towards Japan, we look at each other today and we see friends. We see mutual trust. I only wish other nations can do that. And I say that because during the time of that war, when that bomb was dropped, the Japanese were looking to totally annihilate America, as well as we were looking to totally annihilate Japan. It was total war, a war of annihilation. And yet 66 years later, look at us. I only wish other nations could follow the example of the relationship between the United States and Japan and the United States. Alright folks, we'll see you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the nation you happen to be in. And God bless Japan. We'll see you folks.